This short video will teach you the benefits of performing keyword research for your business, how you can use those keywords to optimize your website, and tools to manage and monitor your performance online. I think most business owners are familiar with this scenario where there are just so many competing online marketing tactics that you could be engaging in, such as Facebook, search engine optimization, email marketing, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, improved websites, and most businesses don't really know which one to focus on or in which order. Don't you wish you had a simple GPS-like application to tell you exactly what you should and shouldn't be optimizing your website for, and to alert you if you're missing out on new opportunities? It's called a digital dashboard from Untangle My Web. It's easy to set up, and it puts you in control of exactly how you're ranking for keywords, your analytics, your social media data. If you're having any search engine optimization done and backlinking, it will track that for you. It'll bring in your social media and a range of other features. But before we get into the details of that and how you can put your keywords into this tool, let's have a quick recap on how web marketing can benefit your business. Online marketing can essentially be boiled down to three words: attracting customers to your website, converting them when they land on your website, and that converting might be into purchasing, downloading, inquiring, calling. And once they've purchased from you, you want to engage them over time, and you might do that via social media, via email marketing strategies, or it might even mean reputation management strategies. Often these customers then turn back into repeat customers, or they recommend other people to your business. So breaking this down to your website, there are three factors which will essentially determine whether your website is going to succeed or fail. The first factor is the amount of people that your website can attract. This is fairly simple to look at Google Analytics and see how many people your website's attracting on any given day or over a period of time. The second factor is how many of those visitors can you actually convert into sales. And this is where a lot of businesses start to stumble because they don't understand what design and content changes they need to do to improve the sales or conversions on their website. Factor 3, and the final factor, is the value that you can generate per customer. So this doesn't necessarily mean simply increasing your prices. It may also refer to upselling or cross-selling other products and services. So to quickly recap, the three things you need to do to increase profit on your website is to attract more website visitors, improve your conversion rate, and increase the average customer value. If you do all of these three things, then you'll notice an exponential increase in the profit on your website. But there's a small problem. We create as much information in 2 days now as we did from the dawn of man through to 2003. So that means that attention is in very short supply. So you need three things to cut through that noise. And as simple as they sound, you need to get an action plan. You need to focus on the action plan and have persistence to stick at it. And we see too many businesses that simply don't have a properly well thought out, well designed web marketing action plan, and end up spending thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars, only to find out a year or 2 years down the track that they've taken the wrong path, or they've missed a lot of opportunities by having a poorly optimized website that doesn't attract enough of the right people or convert those people into paying customers. So while this might hurt a little bit, we recommend that every business, no matter how small or large, get a digital marketing action plan in place, which breaks down the exact tactics that you should implement to put in place an effective digital marketing strategy. Some of these tactics can be things like search engine optimization, pay-per-click marketing, affiliate marketing. Certainly content marketing should be on everyone's radar. Conversion rate optimization, typically this is reserved for larger companies, but there's no reason why small businesses can't understand some of the core messages around what they need to do to get higher converting websites. So as part of this web marketing strategy, you should be able to answer these 5 questions. What keywords are you ranking for, and are these of value to your business? There's no point ranking for keywords that are not actually generating revenue in one way, shape or form. What is the conversion rate of your website? So how many visitors that land on your website are you actually converting into a lead, an inquiry or a sale or a download? how much organic non-branded traffic is your website receiving. If the top 10 keywords to your website are all around your brand name, then that's a pretty good signal that you've got a search engine optimization issue. You want to be receiving ideally more search traffic for people that do not know about your business than the ones that do know about your business, because otherwise you're preaching to converted. What is your current cost per acquisition? If you know how much it costs to acquire each customer in terms of marketing costs, then you'll have greater confidence to be able to make informed decisions about how much you can afford to spend on your online marketing. We're not going to go into too much more detail on this one today, but it's just something to keep in the back of your mind as you get more mature in terms of understanding your conversions and your costs. And finally, do you have a social media presence? And I think most businesses today agree that it's essential to have a Facebook page. So bringing it back to keyword research, that's where it all starts from. Doing your keyword research, understanding where the demand is, then structuring your website based on that keyword research, and that's called getting a good clean information architecture. Navigation, poor navigation is one of the main reasons that people will leave your website. Then you need to develop content around those keywords in that website structure. Implement a link building strategy, so that's where other people link to your website, and that increases the authority of your website, which helps it rank better. Performing SEO analysis on your website to see where improvements can be made. Similar with website analysis. Performing competition research, seeing how you stack up against the competition, and then using this information to improve your keyword research and feeding that back into your website. And this is an ongoing cycle as your traffic improves. If we take a quick look at Google, you can see that the area in the red is the paid search ads, and the area in the green is the organic or free search. The paid search approximately get 20% of the clicks. So for everyone searching, let's say Sunshine Coast accommodation, 20% of those people will click on a paid ad and 80% will click on a organically listed ad. And it's pretty obvious to see that if you can rank your business organically, then you're going to get a lot more click-through traffic than if you were doing paid advertising. So if we quickly look at the relationship between search engine optimization and search engine marketing, you can see the advantages of search engine marketing is that it's fast. So if there's competitive keywords that you need to rank for because there's lots of traffic, but you don't have the time or budget to, say, the 3 or 4 months or 6 months it's going to take to rank organically, then you can set up an AdWords campaign or a search engine marketing campaign. It doesn't matter what website address or URL that you use, so you can make that look very targeted to the search term that you're advertising for, and it's extremely easy to measure. The disadvantages are that it's an ongoing expense. The moment you stop paying, the ads stop displaying. It's not trusted by a lot of searchers. Typically most people say, well, I never click on those, but bear in mind that's how Google makes most of its money. And a return on investment requires a conversion. So they might click on your ad, which will cost you $1, $2, $5, but unless they go through to a very targeted landing page and buy from you, then you're not getting a return on that click-through. Comparing that to search engine optimization, it's no or low cost. This is not technically true, because for those of you that have paid for search engine professionals to help you optimize your site, you'll know that there is a very real cost associated to optimizing your website. However, with a bit of education and training and the right tools, you can do this yourself. It's trusted because it's in that main area of the search screen, which means more traffic. You can target any term you like. Google limits the targeting of some terms on AdWords, but it can be slow. 3, 6, 9 months is not uncommon, and it requires a well-made site, and it's harder to measure. However, setting up the right goals and conversions and looking at where your traffic's coming from based on the keywords that are being sent to your site, you can still get a very good idea of how that traffic's coming to your website. Another point most people don't realize is how much is a top spot in the search engine worth. So if you're searching for a term, what's it worth to your business to appear number 1 versus number 2? And you can see here that the top spot on average gets 36% of the click-through rate. So if there's 100 people searching for a term, 36 of them are going to click on the top ranking, 12% on the second ranking down, 9%, 9.5% on the third ranking down, and so on down the page. So if you're in the 10th spot, you're only going to get 2.2% of that search traffic. So if you're on the second page, you're almost getting none of that traffic. So if you don't know the keyword terms that you're ranking for and specifically know exactly where you're ranking for those terms, you could be leaving a lot of money on the table just by focusing on getting one keyword term linking higher through effective website structure, content, and link building. So it's important you have a really good handle on that. And you also need to be aware that if you're engaging with an SEO company that's saying we'll get you on the front page of Google, well, what does that mean? Does that mean in the number 10 spot where you're only going to get 2.2% of the click-through rate, or in the number 1 spot? That difference can make a massive difference to your revenue and profit. So now we're going to focus on keyword targeting. So here are 3 keys to high converting websites. The main one is having proper keyword selection. There's no point having lots of traffic but they're the wrong customers. They're not going to buy from you. So unless you have your website optimized for the right buying keywords, then you're going to be getting potentially the wrong type of people to the website and they're not going to make a sale. Once you've identified what the right type of keywords are, then you of course need to get those keywords ranking so that you actually appear in the search results so that people will click through to your website. Once you've got those 2 factors in alignment, when they land on your website, that's when you need to make sure that you've got good quality copy written on your website. Performing keyword research, there are 4 cornerstones that we look for. It needs to have good search volume, so there's no point going for a keyword if there's only 10 or 20 people searching for it a month. It needs to have good commercial value, and typically using AdWords is a good way to indicate whether it's got commercial value. And by that I mean if people are willing to pay $1 or $2 for a click for that keyword, typically there's a high chance there is good commercial value. They're making money out of it, which is why they're willing to spend that money on it. So that's a good indicator that your keyword's got good commercial value. Low enough competition. There's no point going for a keyword with great commercial value, great search volume, if the competition's simply too high. And by too high, there are a number of ways that we can tell if a keyword is too high. And typically you can just do a search for that keyword and have a look. Are you competing against the What Ifs of the world or other large high ranking websites like Wikipedia, or are they just local sites that you actually have a chance to rank against? And finally, high commercial intent. Is somebody actually looking to buy from the keyword that they're entering in? And you as a business owner are in a good position to gauge whether that keyword is going to lead to a sale, because you know your business better than anyone else. But to select the best keywords for your business, you need to factor in all 4 of these items. And that's what goes into our keyword research process. A keyword research framework goes something like this. We identify the seed keywords, like the top level keywords that we're looking for. That might be Sunshine Coast accommodation. We then generate a list of keywords, and the way we do this is extract your keywords from analytics. We use those as a base. So we take all of the keywords over the history of your website, we then put those into the Google AdWords tool, and then we also look at all of the other suggested keywords that come up from that and use a range of other keyword sources to generate a master list of keywords. Then we filter them down on those 4 criteria that we just talked about. We combine various keywords to get different variations using modifiers. We check the competition to see how hard it is to rank for those different keywords. We check your rankings in the keywords to see how well you're currently ranking for those, if at all, and then we assign a weighting to those in order of your commercial intent and how well we think they align with your business goals and objectives, and get you to do the same. It can also be useful to have a look at your competitors' websites. So by typing in site : and then their address, you can see how many pages of content they've got, and have a look at their page titles and meta descriptions to see what keywords they're using. And typically it's quite easy to see if they're engaging an SEO company or have knowledge of SEO, because their page titles are all unique with very clear keyword rich descriptions. You can also check out their AdWords. So if they're spending money on AdWords, you can go to use tools like Keyword Spy, type in their domain name, and you can see all the various ads that they're running, the keywords that they're running, and a good indication is how long they've been running those ads for. If you can see that they've been running for 6 months or a year or more, there's a very high chance that those keywords are profitable to their business. Otherwise, they're simply not going to keep spending that money on their keywords. So it's a great source to reverse engineer competitors' keywords. If you are going to use Google AdWords to generate keywords, then the way to do it is simply paste your seed keywords into the main list here. You want to select your country, filter by the cost per click and the local monthly search volumes. So let's say that you only want to see keywords that have got more than 100 clicks per month and have an approximate cost per click of $1 or $1.50 or more. then you must select exact match, untick broad match, so that you get exact matches of what people are searching on. And then at this point you'll get a list of keywords below which match your list. You can then check their search volume, and below that you will get the related searches, so you'll have to trawl through that and see if you can find some good keywords. Then you can click on the export to Excel and keep going through this a number of times until you've built up a big list of keywords. Once you've got that list, we consolidate the keywords, and using a range of factors such as the competition, commercial intent of the ads, and a range of other factors including the visits to your site, how many monthly searches there are, etc. One of the hardest things for most businesses to do is determine how hard it is to rank for a keyword, and there are a number of factors that you need to consider, such as the number of competing web pages, looking at the top 10 results, how much authority these web pages have. That's made up of, in part, the number of external links and what's called the number of root domains. So you might have 100 links pointing to your competitor's website, but they might only be from 3 different unique websites. Google's only interested in really the root domains, those unique websites. If you're wondering how much effort or cost it's going to be to surpass a competitor, you can compare your root domains to their root domains, and a great tool to do that is Open Site Explorer. And you can consider investing in SEO tools to actually help you identify the competition, such as Market Samurai, SEO Moz, and we have our own competition tool. Then we recommend assigning each of your keywords to the various pages of your website. So your primary keyword and your secondary keywords per page of your website. And then that will be the guide to help you optimize your website, each page of your website, for those keywords. To do this, we typically recommend extracting your website into Excel and then aligning your main keyword and your primary and your secondary keywords to each page of your website, writing your page title, your description, your H1 headings in an Excel spreadsheet, so you can see all of that in one glance, and then going and updating your website with that information. Moving on to developing content. When you're writing content, there's a whole range of things that you can do to optimize your page. Google's changing the rules, so they don't like seeing over-optimized content. So if they come to your website and see that you've clearly over-optimized it, then that could hurt you. But if you are pragmatic or logical in how you go about it and you don't overdo it, here are some good guides in terms of making sure the keyword must appear in the title tag, the keyword must appear in the URL, it must appear in the H1 headings, and so on. But all of this takes time to do manually. And when we talk about the titles and the H1s, etc., you can see on this screenshot, there's the actual URL address there. Your page headings are here. Your image file names and alt attributes are there. Bold and italic text, body text is here, and the meta description. Whilst it doesn't help you in the search engine optimization, it can increase the click-through rate if you've got a very enticing description when someone's looking at your listing on Google. What we recommend with the WordPress websites we build are tools such as this, which will tell you exactly what you need to do on your website. So you can put in your primary and your secondary keyword and then see for each of these sections what you need to adjust and alter to better optimize your page and get an overall score. So this can save a lot of time and give you great insight into how your website can be improved. The other benefit with this tool is that it allows you to see all of your pages in one screen and how well each of your pages are optimized at a glance. And most businesses have no idea about this, so immediately you'll be ahead of the pack with that keyword focus on your content. Now, getting back to adding all of this information into your digital dashboard, you can then see, once you've added your keyword here, where you're ranking in Google. Have you gone up or down in the rankings? Same for Bing, same for Google Places. How many actual visits have come to your website? What is the bounce rate of those visits? So for 50 people that have gone to your website, 20% of those have bounced. That's a fairly low bounce rate. How many backlinks you have for that particular page and that particular keyword? How well optimized your page is? How much competition there is? And the local search traffic. So how much opportunity is there for you to get more traffic if your ranking goes up? So this is just one small snapshot of what this tool can offer, but it gives you a very good idea of how healthy your current website is. The next area we're going to quickly touch on is your website structure. It's very important to think carefully through the architecture of your website and make sure that you have the right categories and subcategories in your menu structure, and that you've got rich links linking between pages in your website on the right keyword terms. Having an effective link building strategy is pretty important for SEO, and there are a number of ways that you can get links. You can do things like link bait, which is writing compelling content such as comparison tables or reviews or really in-depth articles where people want to link to you because it's such great informative content. Directory submissions, looking at competitors' links and cloning or copying them. Profile pages and hosted sites. Blogger reviews, press releases are also a really good way that a lot of small businesses don't think to use and distribute content via online press releases. Leveraging existing relationships with suppliers and trade associations. Digital press releases, which is actually what we're talking about there. Internal link optimization, so looking at your internal links and making sure that you've got the correct weighting of links going from your main products and services through to lesser products and services and other pages. And guest posting is just a few ideas that you can use to generate links to your website that will increase your overall search rankings. If you are getting links to your website, ideally you want to get them on your target keyword phrases, and once again you need to understand what these are. So whilst any link to your website is good, this is a better link where you're actually using your target keyword phrase. So to find out what your competitors have, go to Open Site Explorer. In the Open Site Explorer, you can see here the unique root domains, which I was talking about before, and this is a really important number. So out of 100, how much page authority do you have, or do your competitors have? And you can click here on the compare websites to add up to 5 different websites to compare, and how many root domains. And these metrics really determine how much effort or money it's going to cost you to outrank a competitor. And you can also see here the anchor text that has been used, in which case no anchor text has been used to link to this particular website. As we mentioned at the beginning, Google is constantly changing its algorithm and making it harder for spammy SEO techniques to influence rankings. So we really recommend that you stay above the line in the white hat space, and that will hold you in the best stead moving forward, regardless of the changes. Really focusing on quality relevant content is a good move. So high value, white hat, keyword research, on-page optimization, embedded widgets and badges, viral content, link bait, XML sitemap creation. WordPress does this for you automatically. Vertical search, targeting, inclusions, internal link architecture, rewriting dynamic URLs, page rank sculpting. These are some advanced techniques that we won't go through them all now, but there's a lot of things that you can do to properly set up and optimize your website. If you'd like to know more about any of that information, or you'd like help with your keyword research or SEO, then please give us a call at Untangle My Web or connect with us on our various social networks. Thanks for your